Happy New Year, all my beautiful peeps! It's the new year, 2017. Hopefully this year is treating you guys all better. Hopefully it's treating me better as well. But I am so excited to be showing you all of my little bloomers. So this one is actually from my friend Herky. I did a video on it a while back, and that was when it wasn't in bloom yet, but it was in sheath, and you can see all the blooms on the plant now. I was a little worried that it wouldn't bloom for me this year, but you can see that it is blooming and it is beautiful. It has been in bloom for quite some time now. This is the Oncidiums polybobon, and I am happy to say that my Cattleya Bella Megan is actually blooming. So I had these new growths that I was concerned about it because it looks like new growth and it didn't look like they were spikes. However, they started to swell up about 2 weeks ago, and they were indeed flower spikes, or just flowers. As you can see, their spikes are actually really short, and it's really just the flowers that are coming out here and here. So I am super duper happy about the flowers that I got. Some of my Oncidiums are in spike this year, and this is the first one that has bloomed. This is something that my friend's mom gave to me last year, and it was in spike last year. And now it's in bloom again. It has 3 flower spikes. So those are the other 2. I do have a green one that was in spike, and for whatever reason the spike broke off. I'm not sure if it was due to someone touching it or what, but there is a broken flower spike down there. I'm pretty devastated because this is the first time it's spiked for me, and unfortunately I will only get about a few buds off of it. This one is labeled as the LC Hinting XL. It is really beautiful, and it is a fragrant orchid, slightly peppery scented, not very intense, but it's not really my favorite scent. Still kind of nice to smell, wouldn't be like amazing or anything. I am so super duper proud of this one. This is my Brassavola nodosa. Only 1 bloom because this plant is very, very tiny, but I did purchase, I believe, 4 of these, and I gave them to 2 of my friends. So each of them has 1, and I think I have 2, and this one is in bloom. I've shown you guys this path already, but I showed it to you guys in bud, and now it is fully in bloom. The camera just cannot capture how beautiful this orchid is. It's a really dark wine color, and it's very, very gorgeous. It's also quite big as well. And this one I got from Wade's Orchids. And looky here, the Ranchoritis Bangkok Sunset that I did the time-lapse video on. It's finally getting its rest from all the photo shoot, and it's a good thing too because it is starting to drop its blooms. The photo shoot took about a month, so this orchid has been in bloom for a month or so already, but it's still a really gorgeous bloom, and it smells super wonderful. And looky here, my Oncidium sultanum. I got this from Gold Country Orchids in November of 2015. It was in bloom, and now it's in bloom again, exactly 1 year later. It smells so wonderful. If you guys have ever smelled the Oncidium Twinkle, this one is even more fragrant, and it's gorgeous, Look at these beautiful blooms. This is one of the parents of the Twinkle. Just so darn gorgeous. I have 5 flower spikes on this. I was so surprised to get it to bloom, and the roots look quite fantastic as well. Look at all that. It's in fine bark. I've noticed that my Oncidiums tend to like the fine bark because of their fine roots. They do not like the big bark or the clay pellet. My African violets are going strong. So this one is kind of funky though. I don't know why, but it just seems kind of diseased looking. And I have some more. These are the ones with the actual names on them. And some of them are in bud. So that one all the way in the back is in bud. And you get to here, they're in bloom. Some more, that one is in bloom. I got some green ones there. Nothing much over here, but over here I get lots of blooms. I have a frog somewhere, I think, in one of these plants. I don't have a name for this one, unfortunately, because it is a no ID. It's a very prolific bloomer and quite gorgeous. It blooms about twice a year at least, sometimes 3 a year. Last year I got 3 a year, and this year I think just 2. This is an orchid I got from Trader Joe's, and I have to say it's probably not going to win any awards soon because of how it looks, but it's still quite pretty. Very nice coloring and spots. I love the spots on the paths. They're kind of neat and they look like an alien. But yeah, this one's been in bloom for a while too, and I think it will drop at any moment. This is the Isabella Pucella. It's mounted currently. I got it when it was mounted and then I remounted it, but it was actually like strands of orchid. It wasn't all connected together. It did bloom with one flower last year for me, or at the beginning of the year. I'm not sure. But it did put out 3 flowers this year, one of which has already dropped. Wow, it's really hard to get a closer look at this orchid. One of my favorite orchids or types of orchids are the Dendrobium phalaenopsis type. Look at just how beautiful all of these are. So I actually have 3 of them. It is kind of hard to capture, but it's got so many different colorings, so many different types, and they are so easy to care for. They just need a lot of bright light. They don't even need a winter rest. They can get watered at any time, and they can be mounted, they can be potted, they can just be bare roots, and they're just all so gorgeous and different in colors. I have to say they are the easiest orchid I've ever grown. Here's a tag for this one that I'm about to show you guys. Unfortunately, I didn't do a video when I had the chance, but this one has been in bloom for a while. So you can see that it is starting to drop its flowers, and the color is actually really bright yellow. It's a very bright sunny yellow, not this orangey yellow that you see here. It's quite a pure sun yellow, and the lip would be like a brighter magenta color versus what I'm capturing on this video. This is the Patanera Love Avenue Serenade, and it was hidden in behind all the shelves, and I finally was able to pull it out. This one is the LC White Spark Flame Cat. The form on this one isn't too great, and I'm not very fond of it, but it is a very big orchid, and it is fragrant. The scent is kind of flowery to me, and it's not too intense, but it is a very nicely scented orchid. I don't know if I did a video on the cat on this side. This is the Cattleya Irene Song Montclair. This one has been in bloom for a while, so it's actually been in bloom for about a month or more. Only one bud. The form on this one is really nice because it is a clone of an awarded plant, and it is also fragrant. So this one is a little bit more intense in terms of fragrance than this one, and this one is slightly floral and with a hint of like spiciness. This is the LC Love Fantasy. I'm really digging this plant because it's really small. It's a very petite plant, but it has a huge flower, and the shape of it is just really cute. I like the way that it looks, and also the patterns on it. It's kind of rusty, more of like a rusty orange looking color. This one is a no ID orchid, some sort of Oncidium alliance. Right now only one flower has opened up, but I found it behind all my other plants. I totally forgot I even have it. The color on this one is a very beautiful but flat red color. There's not a lot of sheen to it. It's very difficult to capture on camera right now, but it is a very pretty red in real life, and it has more red than orange. This cute little orchid is called the Dimenranda stenopetala. Hopefully I'm saying this right. I just got this one not too long ago, about 2 months ago, and it's kind of been bud blasting because it was in transport and all that other stuff, but it started to develop some buds and is blooming for me. This one has a really cute pattern. I love the veins on it. It's sort of like a medium to bright fuchsia color, and the color is kind of washed out over on the screen, but it's actually more intense and darker in real life. This is another of those no ID Dendrobium phalaenopsis. It's just so cute. I really love all of these den phals. I think that in the future I will invest some more into these guys because they are just so easy to take care of and they're so pretty. This has got to be one of my favorite orchids of all time, the LC Big Time GL number 9. There's actually quite a few clones of this, so there's the GL number 9 and then there's the NN, which I also have. This one is so fragrant. It smells like very intensely either like roses or lemon verbena, but it makes the entire greenhouse smells really nice. Here's my Tolumnia, also is blooming. It has been in bloom for a while, and it was unfortunately kind of neglected because it is mounted on this wood, and in the wintertime I do not water that often. I water about once a week, so this guy was kind of dehydrated, as well as some of my other mounted orchids. This is also a Trader Joe's orchid. I purchased this quite a long time ago, and for whatever reason it is not doing very fantastic. However, after about more than a year, it has finally put out 2 flower spikes for me. The plant is still not looking that great. It looks kind of sad, but at least it has 2 flower spikes. And this is the first one that's come up. There's another one over here that hasn't opened yet. And look at how amazing my display of Christmas cactus is. 3 Christmas cactus, or cacti. I started with 1, and then my coworker gave me another one, also from her brother-in-law, and I started a new one with some cuttings, and it's starting to bloom as well. This one is a no ID I got from Trader Joe's, I believe. Really beautiful and in full bloom right now. Actually, not completely in full bloom. There's still some left up here. Yep, 2 flower spikes. One is coming out right there in the back. And here's the Sherry Baby that is always a constant bloomer. I actually have several of these. And this one, the flower spike, is just pretty magnificent. You can see this is just one flower spike. And then I have another one coming up here. This one is about 4 feet tall. It goes all the way up. Another Oncidium Alliance. I believe I got this one from a local tent sale. Look at all the spots. And it smells kind of intense, like old perfume. Not my favorite scent, but still beautiful overall. More yellow orchids over on this side, the Cattleya Alliance. I don't think I have a name on this one, or maybe I lost a tag, I'm not sure, but there's also the Twinkle right here. It blooms every year during the winter time, around this time. I purchased this 2 years ago, and it has bloomed for me every single year around this time since then. This path is a sequential bloomer. It is a species, and it has blooms for me for quite a while now. I purchased it when it was actually in spike, and it has been in bloom ever since, although I think the flower keeps getting smaller and smaller, so I'm not sure how long the spike will last. I have some of my phals that are really in spike. A bunch of them are in spike right now. Some of them do not look that great. I have a dead one right there. It's not completely dead until it's completely brown, right? This orchid has always been a prolific bloomer. Every single year, twice a year, it blooms for me, and usually it puts out about 2 or 3 flower spikes. So this one, this time of the year, is putting out 2 flower spikes again, and I just had 2 flower spikes, I believe, a few months ago. Surprise, surprise, my Dendrobium nobiles are all in bloom. I moved them up here about, I would say, 2 months ago, and I did do a video on it, and I have pretty much cut watering altogether. I didn't really even miss it, and some of them, the canes do look kind of shriveled, but I do have buds. There it is. Buds coming out on a whole bunch of them. Right there as well, and right there. So those are my nobiles. They are starting to bloom. My Kingianum hybrids are doing quite well as well. Although last year I did get 20 something flower spikes, I haven't really counted this year how many flower spikes I have. Probably not as much, but still really a beautiful display. You can see the Nobile King right there is not doing that well because I held off watering for quite some time. So it's very shriveled. And now I'm starting to water again because they are in bloom. This is the Cattleya Bowlingiana Billy Faye. My very good orchid friend gave this to me, and it is, I think it dates back to the 1990s, I believe. So it is a very old orchid, and it was in really beautiful bloom, and it still is in bloom, of course, but it's been in my greenhouse for a while before I got a chance to do a video. So hopefully I can still capture some of that beauty here on camera. Anyway, thanks for watching, everyone. I will see you guys next time on my next video, and thank you for all of your great comments and all of your support.